Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Anywho, we're back with another freaking video, and apparently, it's been a while since I decided to go ahead and react to Mr. Smixy Man. Yes, our very own favorite Smixy Man, Mr. Brian Tyler Cohen. Yes, so I was made aware of this video, because apparently a lot of us wanted to. Apparently, it wasn't. I was not the only one who was taking some hilarious jabs at JD Vance. Apparently, our own Brian Tyler Cohen, my man, decided to throw in a few hilarious jabs at JD Vance himself. Uh, Now, I'm not exactly too sure what kind of jabs he did, but let's find out, shall we?
Different story. This is just another day. Normally, the role of vice president is a notoriously thankless position. Your very existence is based on balancing a campaign ticket, and once in office, you don't have much power outside of doing your boss's bidding. The underlying principle has always been the president is going to make enough mistakes on their own, you don't need to make things worse. Well, oops.
This Easter.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oops! Oh no. Oh no. Wait a... Is Brian Tyler Cohen... Wait, he's gonna roast him. Oh, we're all in the JD Vance roast train, aren't we? Oh my... Thanks, Brian. You've made my day.
Sunday, Vice President JD Vance briefly met with Pope Francis. This comes on the heels of the Pope's recent criticism over the Trump administration's treatment of migrants.
Welcome back on this Monday morning. We continue to follow breaking news that came out overnight from Vatican City. Vatican officials confirming Pope Francis has died.
I rarely say this literally, but holy shit. So Joyous Death Vance spends one afternoon with the Pope, and the Pope loses his will to live.
You know what? I'm gonna be real here. When I was making that video roasting the visit of the Pope with JD Vance, I had a thing in the back of my mind when I heard the news later on about the passing of Pope Francis. And people are gonna come up with, especially a lot of the Catholics and the Christians in the religious communities, they're gonna think that Vance is literal Satan's spawn. And the powers that be, like his aura somehow infected his papacy and sent him on his way to heaven's gates. I mean, I've heard of some weird coincidences in the spirit world. And trust me, the world of the dead, as far as like souls and spirits and stuff like that, it's minimal research, but they do kind of exist. But effects like this? I mean, in the world of ghost hunting, I've kind of heard of stuff like this, but not to this extent.
Apparently, disagreeing with Trump's immigration policies is now cause for permanent dismissal. It's obviously a sad day for Catholics everywhere, which is why elected officials from around the world have been expressing their condolences to all who are mourning. And that includes Marjorie Taylor Greene, who wrote, "Today there were major shifts in global leadership. Evil is being defeated by the hand of God."
Did she just disrespect the Pope? Wait, what's today? Hold on. Did she just disrespect the Pope? she thought the Pope was. I might be misinterpreting this, but did she think that the Pope was evil? Are you freaking kidding me? Marjorie, you are the most disgusting human being in the entire world. Please don't make me think this is true. That you're disrespecting the papacy. Yo, no, no, no. Oh, Lord. Okay.
That's right, Marjorie is a righteous one who knows the word of God. For, as it says in Corinthians 13:6, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in blatant insider trading. Now, with Pope Francis's passing, that means it's time for a new generation of leadership at the Vatican. It's time to pass the torch and usher in a new era. And you know what that means. A bridge pope, maybe.
Did he just roast Biden? Brian, what are you... What are you doing? Oh my god. Brian, you are crazy. What are you... Okay. Okay. Brian, I think you need to go back to the Happy Hills Funny Farm where you came from. I mean, God.
What could go wrong? Of course, many people might see Pope Francis's passing as being due to his old age and his poor health, but I think Vance's speech from this summer's RNC tells an entirely different story.
Uh-oh.
I was lucky. Despite the closing factories and the growing addiction in towns like mine, in my life, I had a guardian angel by my side. She was an old woman who could barely walk, but she was tough as nails. I called her Mamaw, the name we hillbillies gave to our grandmothers. Now she once...
The fact that you admit that you're a freaking hillbilly says it all. Okay, so now I have to refer to you as the Cletus. Vice President Cletus. I'm sorry. I'm just... Wow. Wow, Vice President Cletus. Sure.
told me when she found out that I was spending too much time with a local kid who was known for dealing drugs, that if I ever hung out with that kid again, she would run him over with her car. That's true.
I have to admit, my mom kinda has the same vibe too. Like, moms have this really weird, like, especially back in the old days. Like, families had like a very heightened sense of like protection back in the day. There's some families like that like were really, really protective. Not at everything, but some things that would like endanger their child, most likely. Not in a political sense, more like a physical kind of sense. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, my mom was kind of like that.
And she said, JD, no one will ever find out about it.
I'm just saying, when your mama tells you that you can get away with murder and no one will find out, you start to get ideas. And
personally, I would think that this is a joke. But when you're that young and you're that impressionistic, should your mom really be telling you that? Yeah, that's not a good look.
look, we've had our fun here, taking digs at JD Vance, but on a serious note, I think it's a pretty ridiculous idea that everything Vance touches actually crumbles in his hands. Am I right?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The trophy just dismantles. Oh my god. Yo, that's wild. That's wild. Is that a football team? Wait. That was that the Stanley Cup? Bro just broke the Stanley Cup? That's wild.
Has anyone checked on the Prime Minister of India?
U.S. Vice President JD Vance is in India, where he's been meeting with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
For Modi's sake, I just hope he's not JD's next victim. Honestly, if Trump really wants to punish migrants, don't send him all the way to El Salvador. Just put him in a room with JD. At least back here at home, things were a little less deadly.
A sea of red, as I've been saying all morning. The Dow now off 944 points. That's about 2.5%. That's about how much it lost last week, and today it's already doubled that amount. The S&P down 2.5%, and the Nasdaq down 2.8%. So in other words, it's a sell-off.
I think we're jumping into recession. Job finding rates have collapsed. Quits rates are collapsing. I mean, this is it's not a good situation.
No! Who let JD near the stock market? But as Benny Johnson said, money is just digital ones and zeros.
Where? He's aware of Benny Johnson. Yo, the guy is. You know what? Benny Johnson is just a literal flapjack at this point in time. The guy is now a joke. Like he goes and he's like, follow the trends of political. Bro, you are such a sheep, Benny. You are like the worst sheep in the entire YouTube space, bro. Oh my god. I have never seen that man so. Actually, you know what? I haven't actually seen a few people so flippant. In whatever space it is, whether it be the gaming genre, whether it be political stuff, whether it be what is it called, movies and stuff like that. I've seen some of the most ridiculous 180s in my entire life. Oh my god.
What really matters is that this administration is keeping us safe, that the era of reckless, dangerous Democratic leadership is over.
Multiple sources tell CNN Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth revealed attack plans for airstrikes on Houthi rebels in Yemen in another Signal chat. This one included his wife, brother, and personal attorney.
Okay.
Why in the world would you... That was a big controversy. There were text messages made to the public about attack plans on a country. They think that Signal is that private? Okay, first of all, Signal is supposed to keep the government off your hands, right? But that doesn't mean that nobody could actually end up seeing your text messages. It's kind of like Facebook. Maybe not everybody in the government could see you, but everybody else outside of the government can see you. That's a level of stupid I have never thought I would witness. Oh my god. That is actually that is the most dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, you know what? At first, I was upset about the security breach, but now I'm mostly just feeling left out. So, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz starts a Signal chat and accidentally adds a journalist, but Pete Hegseth decided he was not to be outdone.
This new Signal group that we are just learning about this evening included some members of Pete Hegseth's inner circle who are, it's not clear what reason they would have to have this information about the strikes that the U.S. was planning to carry out. It included his brother and his personal attorney. They both work at the Pentagon. It's not clear whether they have security clearances. It also included his wife, Jennifer, who has accompanied him previously in meetings with other foreign officials, which has raised some eyebrows among certain officials at the Pentagon.
Look, I think we all get it.
Damn.
You know how it is when you've got multiple group chats going on at once, and it's just easier to combine them all so you don't have to keep typing the same highly classified plans over and over and over again. At this point, I'm surprised Pete didn't just send the Houthi rebels a paperless post invite. By the way, all of this is taking place as just a few days earlier, Hegseth fired people for leaking information.
Back here now to the Pentagon's sweeping leak investigation. Multiple top aides to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth suspended in just the last 24 hours.
Hegseth has said from the beginning he will not tolerate leaks.
Damn right. If someone's going to be doing the leaking around here, it's him. So the news of Hegseth's Signal chat broke Sunday morning, and just as he was prepared to roll eggs on the White House...
He fired people for leaking his chat? But he's the one that's doing it. He's the one that's doing... Does he even know how Signal works? Does he even know how Signal works? That's my question. Does Pete Hegseth knows how Signal works? Oh my god, you are so clueless, Pete.
Lawn, he wasn't afraid to make a few heads in the media roll, too.
So I'm happy to be here at the Easter egg roll with my dad and my kids, because, you know, this is what we're doing it for. These kids right here. This is why we're fighting the fake news media. This is why we're fighting slash and burn Democrats. This is why we're fighting hoaxsters. Hoaxsters. This group, no, this group right here, full of hoaxsters.
I'm gonna...
Bro, do you see his eyes? No, I'm like looking at his eyes, and you can see the level of delusion just by looking at his eyes, bro. It is absolutely freaking scary. That is... Was he also high too? I have a feeling he was a little bit on the a little bit of the happy green stuff. Damn, dude.
To be honest, nothing says meltdown like Hegseth going back to, what, the aughts for his insults? Hoaxsters? Bunch of hoaxsters! Scallywags, the bunch of you! Scoundrels and white-livered sea...
Brian, what are you doing? Brian, oh my god, that is the silliest British impression I've ever heard, but it's so... It's so fitting. It reminds me of those like old school British was it shows? Like what is it called? Oh god. The one was Hyacinth and Richard. What was that name of that show? Keeping Up Appearances? No, I don't think it's Keeping Up Appearances. Is that what it is? It was on PBS Channel 8 like decades ago. pedestrian, dear. Mind the pedestrian. Minding the pedestrian, Hyacinth.
Eek sorrows, cow-handed gassers, and mollycoddles, the lot of you. Rattlecap ninny hammers. I have more. Milksops and go-alongs. Spoony little word grubbers.
Stop! Brian,
By the way,
stop!
what is it with people from this administration using their children as human shields to safeguard them from incoming questions? Like, thank God these tough alphas have 7-year-old boys to keep them protected. If Pete seems especially right...
Wait. Hold on. Let me look. This kid right here. These two kids right here. These two kids right here. Look at their faces. Like, who's this dumbass? Oh my god! This kid right here. This is one of the open. Chick was trying not to laugh. Look at him. Even 10-year-olds know that he's a freaking dumbass. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stop. Stop. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh my god. I stop. Oh my god.
If Pete seems especially riled up, though, it's because a few of those recently fired Pentagon employees released statements about what their experience has been like these last few months.
Hegseth's former top spokesperson, John Olliott, wrote a scathing op-ed for Politico saying that the Pentagon under Hegseth is in, quote, total chaos. He wrote this op-ed just last night, and he said, quote, it's been a month of total chaos at the Pentagon, from leaks of sensitive operational plans to mass firings. The dysfunction is now a major distraction for the president.
Honestly, I think a distraction is all Trump wants at this point. Between his tanking stock market and an imminent self-imposed recession, he'll take all the help he can get. If Trump isn't begging Pete Hegseth for more signal chat scandals, it is basically political malpractice at this point. But Pete wasn't done with the media just yet.
Oh no! What a big surprise that a few leakers get fired and suddenly a bunch of hit pieces come out from the same media that peddled the Russia hoax. Won't give back their Pulitzers. They got Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. Pulitzers for a bunch of lies. And on hoaxes, time and time and time again.
Look at the kid at the bottom right.
As they peddle those lies, no one ever calls them on it. See, this is what the media does.
The kid is at it again. He's like, guys, look at his face. It's like, guys, I am so sorry that this dumbass is here. Like what am I doing here? What is he doing here?
They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people and ruin their reputation.
I can't stop looking at the kids' faces at the right. I can't stop. I can't stop.
Not going to work with me.
Yep, not going to work with him. And this is where I actually agree with the Secretary of Defense. It is appalling when members of the media try and slash and burn patriotic Americans simply for mishandling some classified information. Right, Mr. Hegseth?
If the top man in the job handled classified documents this flippantly for that long, why was that the case? Was it really that he didn't know? Because when you take something out of a skiff, if you're a senator, you know exactly what you're doing. Any security professional, military, government, or otherwise, would be fired on the spot for this type of conduct and criminally prosecuted for being so reckless with this kind of information. The fact that she wouldn't be held accountable for this, I think, blows the mind of anyone who's held our nation's secrets dear, who's had a top secret clearance like I have and others, who know that even one hiccup causes a problem.
Oh no! First the Pope is dead and now hypocrisy! Why? So the man who was widely criticized as unqualified has shown himself to be just that. Seriously, this is the guy that we're keeping around? Apparently to be the Secretary of Defense, the person in charge of a proposed $1 trillion budget and the largest military in the world. All you need to be is a white guy with a nice head of hair and some broadcasting experience. I'm coming for you, Pete.
Nice. Nice. Brian, you have made my day. You have made my day, Brian. Oh my God. Oh my Lord.
Before you go, if you enjoy
promotion. Okay, that's fine, but that's just wild. That even 10-year-olds know that. Oh my God. I'm just like I'm at a loss for words as to the jokes that just wow. Brian, I am just truly honored to be in your presence. Keep doing you, boo boo. You keep doing you, boo boo. I'm here for it. Requiescate bache.